All right, for more on this, let's bring in Matthew Bryza, who is a former U.S. ambassador to Azerbaijan. Matthew, good to have you on the show. So I've been reading two positions, and let me ask you which one you think it is. One, officials believe that Russia is mostly engaging in saber rattling and is not eager to sort of renew its offense. Two, others are a little bit more worried that the situation could quickly escalate into something more dangerous. Which is it?
Yeah, Ali John, thank you for having me with you. And I think it's both. I think that, first of all, this presence of 40,000 Russian troops near Ukraine's border, that's a huge concentration. And they have been participating, it appears, in military exercises in recent months. And when Russia invaded both Ukraine and Georgia in 2008, it was from sort of that sort of a start of military exercises already ongoing. But the target need not be immediate or even the Donbass. It may be, as some of my military analytical friends in Kiev and in Washington have been saying this morning, it may be that Russia is preparing for a summer assault further beyond the Donbass, and maybe in the region of Kherson, which is a Ukrainian province, from which the government of Ukraine can control and cut off the flow of water into Crimea. And Crimea is really short on water. So it's ominous, but I think maybe the real assault will happen in a few months.
Talk to us about the timing. Why now?
I think, number one, it's in preparation for a summer assault. But number two, maybe President Putin wants to send a message to President Biden. As you'll recall, recently, President Biden called President Putin a killer. So maybe Putin is kind of flexing his muscles and testing the resolve of the United States under President Biden to find a way to resist Russian military threats. At the same time, also, there are negotiations going on led by Angela Merkel of Germany and Emmanuel Macron of France, trying to encourage both Ukraine and Russia finally to finalize their agreements from way back when, 2015, the so-called Minsk agreements that are supposed to normalize relations in eastern Ukraine between Ukraine and Russia. So this could be also a bit of bargaining.
Okay. The military action aside, the fact of the matter is that the peace talks aren't going anywhere fast. I mean, efforts to resolve the conflict, I mean, we've seen more than 10,000 people killed. They basically struggled to get off the ground. In terms of finding a solution, what do you think could be a next step?
Yeah, it's clear Russia doesn't seem to want to agree to, and finalize this accord, because I think it wants to keep Ukraine off balance and unstable and keep this open wound in eastern Ukraine threatening the stability of the country. And Zelensky's government is in no hurry to finalize this accord either, because much of it was simply imposed on Ukraine by Germany and France. It's a very unattractive agreement for Ukraine because it allows Russian military forces in large numbers to be very close to the border. And it also would be a legal statement by Ukraine that eastern Ukraine, Donbass, is no longer necessarily part of Ukraine. So that's very unattractive. So I don't think the Minsk Accords are ever going to work. Something else will need to come into play, and hopefully the Biden administration will get involved and broker an agreement. But it's hard to see what that's going to be now that Russia is flexing its military muscles, suggesting maybe it's going to leave the negotiations altogether.
All right. Matthew Bryza, always a pleasure having you on. I do appreciate your analysis. Thank you.